Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, had a moment to take the last couple of days, not by choice, but by necessity, to step away and not do anything for anybody, do any work for anybody. It is thanks to circumstance that I was unable. You see, I had a router, modem router, and it was from a company known as Aris, Arris, and they sold me a piece of junk. I originally got it from Walmart. No, I got it from online. It was an Amazon purchase. But anyway, I originally got it back in June of last year. But Walmart sells the same brand, and so does Best Buy and so many other places. And it's the SBG 6400. Well, there was an issue of it dropping from the internet. That's why you would hear me talking about I'm not connected, I am connected. Having so many problems with the internet was because of the router. Come to find out, other people were having the same problems. And the manufacturer knew this. So they didn't tell anybody. But they keep selling the same router. I guess they have a whole ton of supplies of the same stupid piece of junk, which is what this video is going to be talking about. We're not going to be talking about routers and complaints against companies. We're just going to show you how the economy is set up and why the economy is allowed to function the way it is, why it is necessary. Because a lot of people simply don't know why things go the way they go. Okay, but back to the router issue. I went and got myself a Netgear AC 1200, which was a basic router that they put out a couple of years ago. And the 1200, the moment I plugged that thing in, I promise you, I saw a tremendous difference. I mean, tremendous difference. And so I'm about to send the company that I bought the other one from back their junk. See what I told them all the times I've called in and complained about problems with that router? If they would have told me what the normal problems were, you know how other companies, they issue a alert to everybody letting you know recalls and all that stuff, telling you what are the common issues with the item. Well, this one didn't do that. Told them if they had informed me, I would have taken their junk back, got my money back, and got a different product. They said, well, we'll send you a new one. I said, no, why don't you upgrade me, since this has been going on for so long, since you all committed false advertisement. What do you mean false advertisement? Yes, you advertised that this product was working. You advertised that it was capable of connecting me to the internet. You did not notify me or anyone else of the problems with this particular model. You did not reveal to me the truth in selling, not lending, in selling. You see, if I sell you something as new and saying that the device is supposed to function a certain way, and you know that it doesn't function that way, that is false advertisement. This is what they did. Now, they don't see it that way because in there, when you call them, it says they're not responsible for any damages. Excuse me, if their product caused damage, if it sets your house on fire, they are 100% responsible for that. But they'll say they're not responsible because there are a lot of people out there who don't understand law, who don't understand contract, and basically they won't sue. So they give that little false statement in their audio saying that they are not responsible. So I'm going to make them responsible. But that's later down the line. But that's just letting you know why I was having all of those problems in the past. We have a couple of things we're going to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, this song right here is by a young lady. Her name is Leela James. And some of y'all know about Leela. Leela is talking about Aretha singing. Gladys, Tina, and Shaka Khan said reminds her when she heard Aretha sing. Can't go back to yesterday. Can we just put those thoughts away and fall back in love with music? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let Leela play in the background. As a matter of fact, Leela, I'm going to do you a favor because a lot of people y'all don't know about Leela. And so this is why I'm doing this video. We're going to leave Moby Rise alone, and we're going to go Leela James. Okay? Now we don't want none of these. We want music. Okay? And we want the lyrics, because I want some of you, most of my viewers are roughly my age or just slightly younger or just slightly above my age. So my demographics is within a 30-year sphere of 10 years older, 10 years younger, and my age. So we range from 30 years. And that's okay. That's what I want. Hey, we got the music video, but where's the lyrics? I want Leela James with the lyrics. And I typed in lyrics and it didn't pull up Leela James lyrics with music. And I just wanted you all to see what the song says as opposed to just listening. It's a nice song. That's why I play it. But I promise with all my heart, ladies and gentlemen, I never listened to the words. I mean, I sang the song, but I never paid attention to the word. Well, you should pay attention to the word. How can you be one of them jobbers when you don't pay attention? Shut the up. Sorry, I'm not supposed to do that anymore. Shut up. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do the Leela James for a moment. Now, YouTube is not going to like that I'm playing a video. We're not going to play the whole video. Okay. I just want y'all to hear. So give Leela one moment, one opportunity. And I've never seen the video before, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 4. Somebody's playing on a guitar strings. Makes me think of my favorite song, y'all. Reminds me when I heard Aretha sing. Gladys, Tina, and Shaka Khan. Can't go back to yesterday, y'all. Can we just put those thoughts away and fall back in love with music? Hold on, y'all. What she's trying to say is that junk that they have out there today is not music. There's no rhythm to it anymore. Yeah, they have beats. The beats are whatever, but that's not music. And so what she's trying to say is, let us fall back in love with music. So I'm going to skip ahead so y'all can hear some of the other things she's saying in this song. Come on, Leela. We don't sing no more. Where has the music gone? We don't sing no more. What's the music? All the soul is gone. Can we go back? They don't sing no more. Where's the music gone? Can we get back? I want to talk about it. I want to sing about it. All the soul is gone. All the music is gone. I want to take it back. Let's take it back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to play the whole video. I just wanted you all to see this is what I've been talking about. You see, she's talking about going back to when music was music. The problem is, and I'm going to let that song play in the background while I'm talking. Thank you, Leela. Okay. Leela's going to play in our background, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to bring her volume down just a little bit so that I can hear it. Because, see, I need that. I've been telling people, yeah, you heard me make the comment that I'm the smartest person I know. And there are a lot of people who know that they can't challenge me on that. I was looking at the news talking about Stephen Hawkins dying this week. I don't care about Stephen Hawkins. Stephen Hawkins was an idiot. Yeah, I said it. And nobody else is willing to say it because they don't want to challenge the guy who was in a wheelchair. Okay, Stephen Hawkins was an idiot. Yes, he was smart. Yes, he knew about certain things. Yes, he had theories. He came up with the black hole theory. Excuse me? Ladies and gentlemen, his theory, fine. Quantum physics. I love quantum physics, but he's not one of the scientists that I admire. His theories are not those that I admire because his theories are based on like that Jordan Maxwell character sitting up there talking as if what he says is law. But they prove what? No, they don't prove anything. They just perpetuate and give theory after theory after theory, but they don't prove anything. Their theories are based on partial facts. Okay? We have, you've heard of the phrase, the theory of everything. As I talked about on the video a week ago, there was a Jehovah's Witness. He gave a talk at a hall, and he mentioned about music. How the scientists to this day cannot explain music. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on, wait a minute. That I had never thought about it before, never heard about it. See, I don't know everything. I never thought about it before, but do you absolutely understand that statement? That scientists cannot explain music? They don't know where music came from. For instance, who taught the birds to sing? I was asking myself that question when I was on vacation. Let me ask you another question. Who taught a man and a woman to kiss? When was the first kiss? Does anybody know? Then we got the issue of dancing. Who taught men how to dance? Who taught women how to dance? Where did that start? Where did the first dance take place? It's not recorded. So don't think that you're going to go find it recorded. Oh, no, that's in the book of Jehovah Mammon and Kobotskis. Okay, it ain't like that, and it ain't that serious. The idea is there had to be a first time. That's the point. Okay, there had to be, well, it happened when, way back when, okay? For instance, we know who created rock and roll. It wasn't Elvis, okay? I'm not going to get into a debate about that because that's what happens. People want to debate about stupid things. Ladies and gentlemen, I try to avoid conversations that are about nothing. Now, I used to just play around and have those conversations with people. I used to talk to people about nothing, but it was the same thing. I would talk to a 5-year-old kid. I would just have a conversation with a 5-year-old kid, you know, saying things like, what is your name? Really? That's your name? How old are you? 5? No, 14. 5? You're 5 years old. You don't look 5. You look older than 5 years. I used to have those pointless conversations with children. And I used to have those pointless conversations with adults. The conversations that don't lead anywhere, that are about nothing. I don't have those conversations anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have that type of time. This video is just me telling you that there are a lot of people who are trying to get my attention because they need help. They're stuck because they're afraid. What are they afraid of? They're afraid to think for themselves. I ain't afraid to think for myself. Yes, you are. Because you have ideas. But before you go ahead and put your idea to the test, you want to run it by me to see what I think. Or you need my help to go into the court. Or you need my help to go before the judge. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking with a couple of lawyers as of late. And one lawyer just called me the other day and said, what are we to do? They're ignoring everything. Now, these are officers of the court, okay? And they're even ignoring their stuff when they represent people like you. So don't think it's just happening with the pro se's. It's happening with the attorneys, too, who represent you. Why? I told you guys, the courts, the judges have received a pass. They can operate with impunity, meaning that they don't have to worry about consequences. Ladies and gentlemen, they do have to worry about consequences. So let me give you your argument that you're going to put before the circuit courts for the circuit where you live, where you're going to put the argument, you're going to ask a legal question before the federal court. Now, I was already getting ready to do this, but Rob Ryder, and bless his little heart, Rob he did mention on his video that he doesn't reach out to people who comment and all of that because he doesn't read the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, it was the same way with me. That's why I turned the comments off. I don't have time to read everybody's comments. And my videos, that's not a social media form where individuals hook up, give numbers, information. Like I said, I watch a lot of videos. Let me explain when I say I watch a lot of videos. Not that. Get out of here. The Leela James section. Now, this is just Leela James, but let's take a look at the videos I was watching before I went and looked at Leela James' music. Okay, just so y'all can see. Oh my God, he's gonna pull up one of those X-rated things. Shut up! I don't watch that junk. That's MobiRise. Let me turn off the volume. That's MobiRise. That's the software we use for our website. Somebody actually asked, "What do you use? What do you guys use for your website?" So I told them MobiRise. MobiRise is a free software. The templates you have, most of the unique templates you have to pay for. But MobiRise is a free software. Okay, this is adding pictures and text to MobiRise blocks. Okay, that's what I was looking at earlier. Now, I don't have all the other videos. Oh, okay, this is I'm trying to root one of my cell phones. So I spent an hour and a half this morning watching videos like this, talking about adding Chrome extensions to, what's this, Brave browser. So this is a young man who did this video. I feel sorry for the young man because he made the same mistake that many of us make. He did the Chrome extension, and when he did the Chrome extension, I'll show you in a second. I won't let him talk, but I'll show you what happened when he did the Chrome extension because he doesn't realize it. Right up here is his email address. And he's a youngster, and he decided to do this video to help people because Brave browser only has a few extensions. They don't have the same type of extensions incorporated into their system as Google Chrome. And so they only have a few. So he did a video showing people how to incorporate the Google Chrome video extensions into their Brave browser. And so I was looking at that because I said, okay, I could use that because I want the same type of extensions I have in Google in Brave because I'm using Brave for the most part now. You know, I like it. It does the same thing. I'm using Brave and Torch. I got rid of Opera. I stuck by Opera because I'm like the rest of you guys. I'm old school. We stick with what works. Opera doesn't work for me anymore. Opera keeps freezing. Opera has so many glitches now that no more Opera. Okay, Opera causes me so many headaches, and I can't incorporate my internet video downloader with Opera the way I want. So no more Opera. But anywho, these are the videos that I normally watch. I don't watch videos about people talking about this or that, but however, let's go. Yeah, this is going to take a while because it's going at this slow speed because the individuals who are sharing it are not sharing. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, hold on. I want to introduce some of you who do download things. This is called Tor, T-O-R Lock, L-O-C-K.com, or Torlock2.com, Torlock2.com. It's the same as the Pirate Bay, but it actually is a little bit more functional. In other words, not so glitchy like the Pirate Bay, because the Pirate Bay is running into a lot of legalics where they're running into court case after court case after ruling, and so this is an alternative. So if you didn't know about Torlock, I'm downloading this antivirus because I'm already using some antiviruses, but I do like ESET. It's a Russian company. Well, they're going to be tapping into your system and trying to manipulate the election. Doesn't matter. Anyway, just because Putin and the rest of the cronies who work at the Kremlin are idiots, just like the ones who are with Trump and work at Washington, D.C. are idiots, doesn't mean that all of the people and all of the companies are idiots. Okay, ESET is a very, very reputable software, and it does work. It does kill a lot of viruses. Okay, see this right here, Swarm? Okay, that's what's slowing up my speed, y'all. But we're gonna take care of that. Just wanted to show that to you guys. Just wanted to show that to you guys. Now, back to this whole thing about why we're doing this. As a matter of fact, as I told you all, we're letting Leela play in the background. I was going to show you something here on Torch web browser, but it's not of any consequence. Okay, so let's go back and explain a couple of things so that you guys understand. Does anybody remember when telemarketing first came out? Now, those of you who are around my age, you remember when they first started telemarketing and data entry. Remember data entry? Does anybody know of any advertisement for data entry? Not a lot, huh? But when it first came out, everybody was going to school to learn data entry, 10 key adding machine, and all of that other BS. Okay? Because what happens is, let's explain to you guys the way the economy is and how the economy works. You see, everybody who went to school learned about supply and demand. You all learned about supply and demand. Oh, by the way, this is a doctored photo. How do you know it's doctored? Well, first of all, you don't see any tracks of him coming up on the mountain. You see, if he got up there, now he's coming down because, see, look, if he comes down, he only got one way to go, and that's off the cliff. Okay, so this is doctored. There's no way in the world that he came up there, because where's his foot tracks? Huh? Where'd he walk at? Well, right there. You see, there's footprints, right? Those are not footprints, people. There are no footprints leading up this mountain. And where did he stand? Well, he started right there. Where did he stand if he started right there? Exactly. Not possible. And you see this thing right here? Where did it dig into the snow? Because the way he's pushing his hand out, remember, he just pushed off. Look at his legs. He just pushed off. So that's a doctored photo. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, every 10 to 15 years, in order to keep the economy going, the government comes up with a new industry. You all knew about it. They will let a new technology come out, and with that new technology, all of a sudden, they create a demand for the new technology. Now they need to train people in this new technology. So now you get all these vocational schools. You remember X-ray technicians? You remember when that first became an issue where everybody was going to school to become an X-ray technician? Data entry, computer programmer, it's the way the system operates. See, what happens is in 10 years, that fad goes, and now there's another one that comes out. Okay? Now, see, this one legitimate. See the snow? See it kicking up in the air? And see the shadow? This one legitimate. The other one, no legitimate. Okay. Anyway, let's go back and finish explaining, ladies and gentlemen. They create these industries because they need to keep the economy going. When the economy slows, they introduce new technology. Here's the problem that we're having today. You have countries like India and China that were brought in. Remember, India was the first. Before India, there was Japan. Everything was made from Japan, made in Japan. Nissan, Toyota, Honda. Everything was made in Japan. Go back to the 70s. Why? Because of an agreement they made with the Japanese after the war. Okay? Everything was made in Japan, not China. It didn't start being made in China until they started talking about the global economy and having products made overseas with other countries, and where Japan was asking for more money for their workers because they were becoming more modernized. So what happened? Places like India had over 1 billion people in its country. And so these countries started outsourcing to places like India. Now, what did India need? Well, India needed to teach its representatives English. Remember, they created a telemarketing. They created a telecenters where you call in. Hello, thank you for calling Walmart. How may I direct your call? Okay. When they created that, they created an industry in those countries with people learning English. That's, if you notice, their English is all the same because they learned it from the very same group of people who learned it from the very same group of people, which is why the accent is the same, which is why when they mispronounce words or don't put it in the proper sentence structure, it's always the same because they marketed this. They didn't teach it to everybody at the same time. They taught it to one group, and then they used that group to teach others, and they used that group to teach others, the way companies do. That's how they grow. Well, now that they've brought India, China, and all of these other countries, they should have started with places like Ecuador, Mexico, and Brazil, South America, but they're now doing that. They weren't doing that before. They went to the Asian countries. Why? Because they knew they could take greater advantage of them. Why? Because of their culture. You see, each of the Asian countries that they took advantage of have this culture of honor. And so they played them on the honor because they knew that the working class people, all they had to do was promise this and promise that. Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening is so many people are so stuck on all this junk. I have a 70-year-old woman who's been kicked out of her house. The courts have ignored everything she's put into the record, literally ignored it. Then they had the nerve to say, well, if you had said this, then I wouldn't have made this decision. Excuse me? If she had said that, she did say that. What do you mean, if she had said that? Aren't you supposed to follow the law, you ignorant mother? I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to do that anymore with you guys. But the judge, isn't he supposed to follow the letter of the law? Is he not supposed to follow what the statute says? So why are we allowing these judges to tell us because we failed to say something or failed to do something that they're going to rule against us? Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that they take an oath? They take an oath of office and they take an oath to the court, to honor the court. So why are we allowing them to tell us that because we didn't mention this or because we failed to mention that, that they're going to rule against us? Do you know that they must follow the letter of the law? They must follow the statute? Well, the statute says if we fail, no, the statute doesn't say that. Their stupid rules and their procedures mention that junk. That's because they're administrative. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to suggest all of you do is to put your federal question before the court. This is what I was going to show you. I now remember what I was opening this up for. I think he's going to be this one. Come on now, I got an internet connection.
Do you need professional Envato or Video tablets?
No, this is not the one I need.
Then
he asked me if I needed and I told him no, and he's still asking. Hold on, y'all. It ain't letting me. There we go. All right. No, that's not what I need. I think it's going to be this one. One of these two is the Rob Ryder video, but I want to show y'all something that Rob Ryder did that's going to help all of you. He doesn't even realize he did it. Now, the video, he mentions a couple of things about the law, and I believe this is it.
May be placed in an
Hold on, Rob. Hold on, Rob. God, man. Anyway, look, ladies and gentlemen, Rob Ryder did something, and he doesn't realize what he did. There are a couple of things that he did that caught my attention. Now, he highlighted about getting a letter from the court that actually is titled this way. All the cases I do, I make the courts mail it to me. I do not let them email me nothing. Send it to me in the mail. All of their letters look like this. And it says official business. With Rob Ryder, Rolanowski. Anyway, I play around with his name, but that's because I didn't know the exact spelling. Mr. Rob Ryder, what he did in this video, he gave you guys an avenue. He did something. Now, he's talked about the title of this case was how he, and he mentions it in the comment here, how he got a case filed of for $6.70 because all he did was did the postage for the post office. Please understand, it's not a case. He's asking a question. He's not filing a lawsuit, so there's no defendant. So there is no quote unquote filing fee. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention so that we all get it, so that you understand what you all get to do. And I'm going to suggest you all do this. I'm going to suggest you go back, listen to the beginning of his video, not this section right here. We need the section where he's talking about the actual document that he sent in. Okay, the thing official business of the United States, I would actually suggest that you do the official business of the United States of America, as opposed to putting official business of the United States. Okay, United States is still a corporation. Okay, it's still an agency. It's not government. So give me a second. I'm pulling up the document where he goes. He does read the whole document, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, but he pointed out something and it did get my attention. You see where it says U.S. District Court, Colorado? Well, he's absolutely right. Not all of the documents say U.S. D.C. and the state. I assure you that because we have several documents that he brought it to our attention, so we went and took a look, and they don't always say USDC. Now, why is it that the title changed? Because there are different aspects of the corporation. Different, just like SATCOM, we're compartmentalized. Well, their corporation is compartmentalized as well. Please understand something. When he goes through this, he reads a letter. Ladies and gentlemen, your federal question should be simple, not 85,000 words, because his is not 85,000 words. Keep it on whether or not a judge, their oath of office requires them to follow the letter of the statute and render a verdict based on the facts and not based on opinion. Remember, the courts are always giving their opinion. Nobody asked them for their opinion. We didn't go to the court to get their opinion. If we wanted an opinion, we could have went and asked somebody to bend over, and we could have spoke to the crack of their anus and got an opinion. And so the question would be, Leela, I'm going to have to turn you down a little bit. I like Leela, y'all, but the song is got to get back to the way things were. And I'll explain that in a minute. And we're going to go about 45 minutes in this video, and then I'm going to let you guys get back to your day. Like I said, I had to take a break from things, so that's why I'm not really talking about anything of any mutual import. But when he did this letter, and he just asked a federal question, the federal question that I'm suggesting that each one of you ask, because it's the problem that we're having, is when we come into the court relying on a statute, and that's what all of us are going into the court doing. We're relying on a statute, the wording of the statute. When the statute says we have the right to do this, we are relying on that statute. If we come into the court relying on a statute, does not the judge have the responsibility to also adhere to the tenets of the statute and the intentions of Congress? The second question would be, and you have to figure out how to put that, because remember, the thinking is the judge has not been following the statute. The judge has been ruling based on technicalities. Like I said, the judge actually told the 70-year-old woman that because she failed to say this, he was ruling against her. But she said, wait a minute, they sold my house while I was in bankruptcy. That's illegal. That should have been the only thing the judge was considering. Not because she didn't bring up something else, because she filed the adverse possession claim before they sold the house. So she wasn't supposed to be bringing that up. But he's telling her because she didn't bring that up, that he was ruling against her. So the question is, doesn't the judge have to deal with the merits of the case, the facts of the case, and not technicalities? Doesn't due process require him to follow the letter of the law and not technicalities? You see, their technicalities are their rules and procedures. And that's what they wanted her to do, was follow a procedure as opposed to following the statute, because the statute doesn't require her to bring all of that stuff up. Okay, your second question should be the act of, you all know what act I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly where I'm headed. Uh-oh, got to get rid of this. Bye-bye. Got to go bye-bye. I want to talk about it. I want to sing about it. Where is it at? Nope, it ain't here. It's someplace. Oh, I did put it here. It's right here. Don't want to bring up anything about the U.S. being in bankruptcy. We want to bring up this part right here. Hold on. Let me highlight it so I'll be able to find it when we get to it. So give me 1 second. And this is where I'm going to need you all's help, because I promise you we'll accomplish a lot more doing it as a group in the different districts, in the different courts. Let's put them in a corner. Let's box them in. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, they are contradicting themselves. But here's the point. I want you guys to pay attention. Congress, the United States Congress, they're the legislative branch of government, said that since March 9, 1933, the United States has been a state of declared national economic emergency. Pay attention. It was called the National Economic Emergency Act. Well, the National Economic Relief Act. And then the other one was called the Federal Economic Relief Act. National Economic Banking Relief Act. Anyway, it was bankruptcy. But you don't say that. You say that since we've been in a national declared emergency since 1933, that Congress, and the first question you ask is, does Congress have, you don't want to ask the question, you don't want to show this before asking the question. So your question is, did Congress have the right to delegate its authority to the executive branch of government? And what provision of law and or delegation of power and authority of the Constitution permits Congress to give its authority to another branch of government? Now, what you have to understand is there is what's called the separation of powers clause, and there are the long-standing judicial decisions and case law that says that no branch of government may delegate its power to another branch of government. So they've already got too many cases, hundreds of cases that say Congress, the president, and the courts cannot delegate their power to each other. Too many cases. But here we got Congress saying that gave, pay attention, we're going to focus on the key words, gave 470 provisions of federal law and which delegated to the president powers that was supposed to be exercised by Congress. Okay, these powers taken together confer congressional authority to rule this country. So we don't want to bring up anything other than what they said. That's why I asked you all for individuals to help me, and I've not heard back from anybody contacting the Library of Congress to get a copy of this, certified copy. I just asked people for help. Everybody's always asking me for my help, so I said, okay, let me put it to the test. Let me see if anybody's going to help. And not one person. Which is why I'm glad I took that break, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I'm going to turn Leela over to the side there. But that's the question you all need to be asking. And you need to be asking every circuit court and every district court this federal question. Okay? You can take the credit for it. You don't want to ask any other question, people. All the other questions are irrelevant, I promise you. But some of you are going to get buck wild and you're going to start, and that's how you're going to get it dismissed. You're going to get it ignored because they're not going to listen to it. And that's not what you want. So just keep the questions to simple questions. Other than that, they're going to just dismiss it outright as being frivolous, meritless, blah, 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 because that's what they do. But you asked the question along the fact when you explain that according to the delegation of powers, there is a separation of powers. It's called the separation of powers clause. So knowing that there is the separation of powers clause, does Congress have the authority to delegate its powers to another branch of government. Now, they can't say Congress didn't do that because the United States Senate said Congress did do that. They said that's exactly what Congress did. Hold on. And then here, they attempted to terminate that when they did it at other times. But hold on. This whole act, March 9th, 1933, was the act that gave force to these 470 other provisions. They only got rid of some of those provisions when they did this. But the fact is, this was illegal from the very beginning. And that's what we're looking for. There is no decision, there is no ruling that they can make based on that federal question that would not invalidate every decision made by every court since 1933. Some of you are going to get what I just said, some of you are not. And I can't help that. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm playing Leela in the background is because this disease, muscular dystrophy, causes individuals to lose memory. So the only thing I have is my memory. Now, mind you, memories used to be torturous because I made a lot of dumb mistakes in my past, and so I've had to live with those dumb mistakes on a daily basis because those were the memories I held on to mostly. And I tortured myself purposely, would not allow myself to forget that. But because I've been doing way too much, helping way too many people, and not taking a break, literally not taking a break, not taking any time for myself, and everybody's been telling me, you need to take some time for yourself. Please do that. Oh, God, what are we going to do without you? Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't take a single moment to myself. And guess what? I sat up there and didn't do it. Needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. So I was breaking my neck to help people still. Well, that was causing damage. The damage was, for the last 8 days, I have had headaches, with the exception of today. And yesterday, it almost got started and then it stopped. What you all don't understand, these are massive headaches. These are headaches that lay me out. I mean, they're that bad to where I can't function. I can't focus. I can't think. The headaches are that bad. But then if you understood, you would understand it also increases the blood pressure. I've already had 3 strokes, 1 massive, 2 minor, 2 heart attacks, 1 massive, 1 minor. And I can just see, and none of those were natural. Not a single one were natural. Those were all caused by outside forces. But I don't want one to be natural because that one will hurt more than the others. So I had no choice, but I'm glad my circumstances made me take a step back. So with the fact that I'm now losing my past, my memory, my family, I don't even hear my mother's voice anymore in my head. That's horrible for me because that's her memory. My father, he died in 1983, and at certain points I can hear his voice. But my mother, I don't hear her voice. And that just happened over the last 2 weeks. And I'm very, 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 very taken aback by that because I didn't think that would happen. That's not by choice. I simply don't remember. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't remember what happened last week. I barely remember everything that happened yesterday. But this was the case, about 2 years ago, where I couldn't remember the previous week. You probably hear me mentioning that, but this is going on too long. This hasn't happened this long before. So I do know things are getting worse. That's not for you all to worry about. This is just me letting you know the circumstance situation. So if I ask you all for your help where it's not going to do anything but cause you to do a little bit of research, and you're trying to get in contact with me to help you with your problems, and you're not willing to do that, I don't know what to say. All right, have a good day.